what Republicans have to do if Joe Biden were to stay in the race, or whoever is in the race, is point out that this administration sucks. This administration is terrible. This administration's policies have harmed countless Americans. And so the most effective parts of the RNC have been the parts where everyday Americans talk about their experiences under Joe Biden. So a bunch of everyday sort of American heroes were brought out. That included, for example, the UNC frat boys. So there's been this wide spate of pro-Hamas protests all across the country, including violence, including trespass, including vandalism, and all the rest. And you'll remember, because we played it on the show, the video of the UNC frat boys who showed up at a pro-Hamas protest they stopped the American flag from being desecrated. They were brought forth at the RNC. It was a pretty awesome moment.
When a mob tried to take down the American flag on our campus, we knew we couldn't let that happen. We stood guard, we held it up, and we did not let it fall. It was all about respect, not just for the cloth, but for everything that the flag stands for. Too many people have sacrificed everything for it. The least we can do was keep it flying. And tonight, we are proud to honor our flag again.
I mean, it's good stuff. It's just good patriotic stuff. Okay, I will say that the crowd at the RNC is also doing an extraordinarily moving job of reminding everybody there's still 5 American hostages being held in the Gaza Strip by Hamas while Joe Biden continues to pussyfoot around Iran and clear the way for them to get cash. A hostage family spoke. This is the family of one of the American hostages being held. And the crowd started chanting, "Bring them home." You're not going to see this at the DNC. I promise you'll see Palestinian flags at the DNC.
Our son, Omer, is an American citizen. For 285 long days and nights, Hamas terrorists have been holding Omer imprisoned in tunnels underneath Gaza. Imagine, over 9 months, not knowing whether your son is alive, waking up every morning, praying that he too is still waking up every morning, that he is strong and is surviving.
Bring them home. Bring them home. Bring them home.
Okay. Again, amazing stuff there at the RNC. One of the other speakers, Shabbos Kastenbaum. So I know Shabbos, really, really nice guy. He's a Harvard student. He's currently suing Harvard for discrimination on the basis of Civil Rights Act violations. Shabbos is not a right-winger by any stretch of the imagination. As he said in his speech, in 2016, he voted for Bernie Sanders. And the left has completely abandoned Jews in the United States, and they've abandoned American values. That was the point Shabbos was making. And there's a permission structure for people who aren't traditional Republicans to vote Republican in this year's election.
The anti-Semitic bigotry, unfortunately, extends far beyond the universities. Although I once voted for Bernie Sanders, I now recognize that the far left has not only abandoned the Jewish people, but the American people. The Democratic Party, the party I registered to vote for the day I turned 18, has become ideologically poisoned. And it is this poison, it is this corruption that is infecting far too many young American students. Let's be clear. The far left's anti-Semitic extremism has no virtue, and the radicalism on our campuses and on our streets has no moral legitimacy.
Again, the point of all this for the RNC is bring people up there who aren't traditional Republicans and let them talk. Saudi Arabia recently ended its 50-year petrodollar deal with the United States. That does have the potential to weaken the American dollar. Since 1974, Saudi Arabia has sold oil solely in American dollars, which was huge for our global economic dominance. Now they're looking at other options. If there's less demand for the US dollar, what happens to its value? It's for reasons like this I feel it's important to diversify some of your savings into gold. You can do that with the help of Birch Gold. Right now, qualifying purchases by July 31st are eligible to get a one-of-a-kind limited edition Golden Truth Bomb. The only way to claim your eligibility is by texting Ben to 989898. Protect your savings by diversifying away from the US dollar with gold. Text BEN to 989898. Birch Gold will help you convert an old IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold for no money out of pocket. Right now, qualifying purchases will get a limited edition Golden Truth Bomb. Text BEN to 989898. That's BEN to 989898 today. These are very uncertain and perilous times. Diversification is a smart investment strategy no matter who you are or where you are located in life. Text BEN to 989898 to ask your questions to my friends at Birch Gold and get started. The most moving moments of the night, clearly. There were two really moving moments of the night. First, a World War II veteran who is 98 years old got up and talked to the convention. And it's just, astonishing. First of all, this guy is significantly more with it than the current president of the United States. And he's 98 years old. It really is kind of an amazing thing. His name is William Peckrell, and he was speaking about America. And if you weren't moved, honestly, I'm not sure that you have the capacity to be moved if you weren't moved by this.
And President Trump, back in Commander-in-Chief, I would go back to re-enlist today. And I would storm whatever beach my country needs me to.
Yeah. But by far the most moving and effective moment of the night, however, was the Gold Star families. So Gold Star families came forth, and these are the Gold Star families of the soldiers who were killed in Afghanistan during the botched withdrawal from Afghanistan, which, by the way, was the turning point of the Biden presidency. You can look at the poll numbers. He dropped into negatives because he surrendered in Afghanistan to the world's worst human beings and got 13 American soldiers killed in the process and left tens of thousands of people who had allied themselves with America behind to be slaughtered by the Taliban. It destroyed his presidency, really. And then he had the temerity to go on that debate with Donald Trump and not only not mention any of the soldiers who had died at Abbey Gate, but to pretend that no soldiers had died on his watch, which is a lie. It is not true. The most moving moment of the night last night at the RNC was the segment about Gold Star families. So the RNC put out a video, and they put it up on the big screen, obviously, of Gold Star families from Abbey Gate talking about how their kids had died at Abbey Gate and how Joe Biden had basically sold them out. Here's some of the video.
I'm talking to people. I'm calling his girlfriend. I'm saying, well, have you heard from him? Calling his sisters. Have you heard from him? We're texting. We're saying, please, just send us a text. Just whatever. Just let us know that you're okay.
When all the explosions went off, I had messaged her and I said, hey, I know you can't say anything, but, just an emoji. Just a bubble.
And then 3:30 in the morning that night, I got the knock on the door. There's no other reason 2 Marines are standing on your door.
Right away, they told you, we have news about your son, and he just passed away. I just start screaming. I throw myself on the floor.
The Gold Star families were then brought out on stage, and they were welcomed by the RNC crowd, and the love in the room was amazing, obviously.
Please welcome to the stage the Gold Star families of our fallen heroes.
Obviously, the moment of the night, all the Gold Star families standing there holding pictures of their kids. Now, what did MSNBC do? They cut away. Of course they did, because MSNBC can't allow the audience to see something like that. So in the middle of that, you can see in the background of this particular shot, the Gold Star family standing there. They decided they had to cut away to get Rachel Maddow's incisive analysis.
Who would less like to join in on this conversation than probably anything else in his entire life. But he is now going to join us. He is our friend Jamie Harrison, the chairman of the Democratic National Committee. You have stumbled into quite a conversation, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much for being here.
Rachel, I followed it intensely. There's a reason why I don't have any hair.
All that happening while the Gold Star families are being cheered on stage. Just slow clap for the genius programming at MSNBC. Are you tired of the lies and the twist of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.